their position. So, you know, we were talking about TSM potentially get some of those gatekeeping kills before now. That duty falls to the Dragons, who, it seemed, have actually been able to push back Shopify Rebellion. If they come through the other choke, it'll be less heavily defended, but there will be other eyes on them. There's a lot more angles that you can get shot in if you go through the middle choke down to Thermal.
Exactly. A lot of open space where we know that teams have no issue shooting a Sheila from miles away, while Meteor, off of their landing here, still seeing Little Ace being on this Valk. He's got the charge rifle in hand. The rate of fire on that charge rifle, I'm just never over it here. But not trying to overcommit to, trying to see if they can cut off and rotate through the bridge, and also expanding on the Gibby. That's all for the res, by the way. But let's not forget, NRG, with just knocked alive, was able to get this res, so they're trying to capitalize off of this opportunity.
Yeah, and it was Nocturnal that stayed up. You know, it maybe would have been a little bit better if you had been your Rampart who stays up, because then they can drop a weapon to the teammate, use the Sheila, and then you're kind of spreading out the resources a little bit better on your team there. Either way, Ninjas in pajamas actually trying to come in off the back of this, but it's a little... it's happening a little too late in the zone close, and they know they've got a while to go all the way through Harvester. They back off and leave this to be a 3v3 between NRG and Meteor.
Aim for effort here on the attempt on the third party. Meanwhile, Fnatic have been able to find themselves in this building. It's not in that Nick zone per se, but still trying to block off Source X and Y.
I mean, that was an exceedingly early wall by Source X and Y. I mean, of course, you always want to be the last one to wall, and now they've walled so early, Fnatic could potentially just come out here and slam. Again,
gonna be able to clean up even more KP after an amazing...
Oh my...
Oh, so the way he just flicked, you talk about Yuka with the PK, you know, you're talking about the PK. Gonna get to see that all over again. Yuka is actually insane with this weapon, jumping around though, off to the side of the roof, trying to claim even more heads, loses out on two though. Fnatic with Yuka last one alive, they try to block him out, he was pinned, there is not much you can do. Virtus Pro wanted to take advantage.
Oh, you saw he was trying to juggle two fights at the same time. Flicking the 180s just to try and scare both teams off, and yeah, sure, they do win the fight against Source X and Y, which is going to be a disappointment from them, obviously, on the 42 points and pushing up towards the top of this lobby.
Oh no. Slightly too late on that Gibby bubble, though, has cost Nasty to get knocked. Putting on the Newcastle. Oh, VP are out for blood. They had timed that third party beautifully to take care of Fnatic, and now they're going to be able to take advantage, trying to find Ninjas. Legacy is also in the feed.
And that's a big win. That's a big win. That's the mythic pin for Virtus Pro. All three of them on purple. That means they get they secure the triple red straight away now, and the remaining member of Ninjas is going to have to make their way well out of the circle. It's actually going to be a tough respawn, or maybe even just a ratting race for them. Okay, here we see the Valkyrie in action. Libel Ace puts his team into the sky, but they're taking quite a bit of zone damage already. You got to remember, with Sheilas on the field, you can be very vulnerable in the air during the Skyward Dive, and taking that much zone damage makes it that much easier to take you down. But they do make it into the choke just for now. They're safe, but not for long.
Or they're going to have to be forced out, maybe through that choke, over to that north side of Thermal, which, by the way, that zone is pulling over to the south side of the Survey Beacon building. By those three pills that you sometimes see that's out in the open that you could get shot at from the high ground of Thermal Station. A lot of KP also being shown in that kill feed. We saw 100 Thieves. Looks like Timmy was able to get some knocks there too. TSM had felt the pressure, but TSM uncontested, still in that building with the poking pressure before they eventually will also have to move. Also being able to see Legacy with this Kraber has been able to find a lot of these shots. Misses out on that one, almost jinxed here too, but trying to see if he can try to catch them, and there you go. And it's also a follow-up with the Sheila that has been beautiful.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, we've seen Phony actually been topping out some of the stats leaderboards here for Gil, because of course he's got access to the Rampart Ultimate.
So much space, but maybe too much now with NRG also creeping up right behind them, while Guild is looking at Shadow, trying to take advantage of these knocks. Guild also have to worry about NRG. You can hear the charge rifle here too. expended some of that mobile shield here too to get around.
Teams are getting better and better with their utility and how it plays out in this meta. You see there, the mobile shield is the less useful tactical. So if you can find a space to hide from the ult in that, you want to do it instead of using the Gibby bubble.
Naked Mozam is all they need here. Legacy now, gonna try to get some help, gonna get that res. Desk is going to be able to use this passive though while he's trying to recover alone in the distance, so they're also getting pinged. The actual res was able to get pulled off, but now they have to worry about, in the distance, the third party, the shots from other squads.
Oh dear. All right, NRG also finding Meteor here. They do find a little gap in between the amped cover here, and they will finish off. Oh, that was Shadow. Oh, no, it was Meteor, but I guess the rest of his team is elsewhere. Looks like we've got a single member of Meteor still riding it out somewhere a little bit more to the south. Okay, there is the final zone here, and it's, yeah, look, no one's currently there because there's not a lot of cover there south of the Donut building. Obviously, Newcastle and Gibbies especially, and the amped cover is going to come into play here. Teams are going to need to find a spot here in this final zone, and they're not going to want to take it early because the Shielders will be tearing those walls down. The earlier you try and sit in that position, you find balance.
Point blank with the Sheila Fun didn't even have time to do a 180. He just got absolutely melted, and Guild are fighting their way, inching forward with the Newcastle mobile shield. They were able to find some space right underneath the sniper tower. You know that Guild have to look though on every angle because a lot of these squads have actually dispersed to move over to the south side and maybe try to take a roundabout rotate out of the other teams, like 100 Eats have been sitting in that building across the zip line, waiting for the squad to be in their lines.
Okay, Meteor gone. Fnatic did go down as well, by the way, so the other team's trying to catch up, but they've still got a good ways to go. That means Guild is currently the points leader, still left alive in this lobby. That's it. They're on the other side of Thermal Station right now, with a couple of teams playing very close positions here. Nocturnal,
how does he do it?
Perhaps even going for a ratting spot here, hoping that TSM walks past and he can just either them in the back. They hear it! They hear the pull!
This is actually looking a great opportunity if Nocturne trying to take advantage here. The double Gibby Dome, the NRG cannot capitalize. A Nocturne's taken out, but that takes away from TSM's opportunity to get some KP. Zap slides in, reps his one, Vertical is down, but it's fine. They're able to finish off Dragons. An isolated fight for now, but also drawing attention to other squads in the vicinity.
Good defense from TSM. They hold their ground and hold an extra couple of points as a result of it. Green Stego, like playing from the high ground, seems they've managed to find a couple of spots where they can look down on their competition so far. If they can hold that until right as this zone closes, maybe they'll be okay with a late slam on the edge of the zone and be able to set up the walls behind it. Of course, you need to have that bubble ready to go though, right? It's having the bubble out there that lets you erect the Sheila walls, the rampart walls without anyone else being able to take them down too quickly. They're vulnerable in that first second or two while they're deploying.
And with so much attention being split too in the lobby, you don't have to worry too much unless you get that focus fire down. But Shopify in some trouble, playing off that second floor of the open building, playing around the Gibby Dome, falling incredibly low. Zyno, look at his HP. He's trying to dance, he's trying to get away. He can't get on top of the AC, and only Koiful with a sliver playing on the edge of the zone. The bombardment that he has to matrix around, not much for him to do here, other than just get out of the line of sight, avoid the bombardment, just let's right in front of him. But unfortunately, there is not much you could do in that case. Shopify get taken out in 9th, and C9 still alive. EXO now sliding in to try to take that fight.
Yep, the last tick of it does remove Shopify Rebellion from the lobby, as does it with Ninjas and Guild as well. Complexity, they moved up from the south, and they're the team that's kind of looking okay right now with 5 left in the lobby. The rest all up on the north side. You can see them down there behind those blue boxes, I believe. And BP, I mean, they've got barely anything to work with, staring daggers straight at EXO, who are trying to get the res right now.
Can they pull it off? Oh no, they're not gonna let them. They're gonna move forward here. They're gonna utilize the cover from the Gibby Dome. Not gonna let EXO get that reset. Meanwhile, Shubi on top of his own castle, all the way on the high ground, looking at everything play out from underneath him, saying, all right, this is none of my business. But eventually he will have to drop, maybe with some distraction between 100 Thieves, Complexity, and VP from underneath them.
Okay, so we get some good vision there of Complexity and their position. They've got the rock, and they're going to have to leverage that for as long as they can. Save all of those rampart walls, the next Newcastle wall, if they have that up, for as long as possible. Nice little spot up there by Shubi. Unfortunately, he's only a solo, so he probably doesn't want to draw too much attention to himself. 100 Thieves, however, maybe they're looking to pick up their second as they move in from the opposite side to Complexity. It very much feels like it's going to come down to these two. VP struggling now as their wall gets shot out.
Meanwhile, Shubi was able to use the Newcastle wall to reposition directly smack dab in the middle of this zone. Complexity moving up though while trying to actually collapse on 100 Thieves. VP out of the fray while looking at all these teams play ring around the rosy around the boulder. Beautiful shots from Design here with the Sentinel. We've been seeing him get mad pigs here on the kill feed too with the Senti. While VP slowly, Slayer and Loot are incredibly low but may not have the time to reset.
Yeah, you can see Lou just trying to pop a syringe. Does he have time to get in there? Well, they have to sit tight. The ult's coming down upon them. The single, the solo of Shubi now going down.
Now finally being able to take that spot here too. I did see there that VP still had that Newcastle wall that they could utilize and manage to try to take height, but they can't try to overextend or else they're going to be forced to play for third.
Usually you're worried about who has to drop first. In this game, it's the opposite. Who will have to climb onto this rock here as all three of the teams are currently hiding below it. A big slam up onto it. Virtus Pro move first.
And the counter pick from Design, so he is able to use his slam on the Newcastle second. That is what gives you the advantage in these fights with this Newcastle meta. And 100 Thieves are still king of the high ground for now.
But is second better or is third? Complexity presumably still have their wall in, but will they even get a chance to use it? Timmy scares them off with the Sheila. So much damage coming out in such a short time.
Look at the stare down. Look at the weight. Nobody wants to commit first between these Newcastle mobile barriers. 100 Thieves are cleaning up before being the champions of their 6th game in the series.
That's it. Make some noise there for Timmy, who rounds out the series with 12 kills. They only picked up a couple in that last game. Damn, I mean, Jen Burt was just absolutely raking in the damage. Almost 2,400 in that final one, as 100 Thieves managed to put themselves in second spot after a stellar 6th game. I mean, wow, the way they played that out, they're almost like body blocking other teams out of the zone. They've placed their utility in such a fantastic spot that they couldn't really climb without taking damage. They didn't really have a chance to put their own down. The pressure exerted on the other two teams at the same time by 100 Thieves in that final circle. Mwah! Wonderful.
Chef's kiss.
Indeed.
The story watching this team, by the way, listening to their comms while practicing in scrims and seeing the synergy be built up with how talented each individual player is on this squad has just been marvelous. Also being able to see what they could do in holding their ground, Design with those Sentinel kills. He said he was feeling himself going into this game, going into this lobby, and this is the only other team aside from Fnatic that was able to get 2 dubs in their pocket. Not only taking the dub, but getting 6 KP on top of it.
Wow. All right, so a nice 18 points to finish off here in the 100 Thieves. And yeah, as we mentioned, that really shoots them up the leaderboards. A couple of other teams unfortunately finished off with donuts. Source X and Y had a chance to really get off to this series with a bang, but unfortunately it's a donut for them in the final game. They still end up in 7th, certainly above the pace that they need to be if they want to make it into that top 20. But look, the story here in this series was Fnatic.
Hey, would you have it any other way? That's how you start an opening here. When you're in Sapporo, when you got the home crowd rallying right behind you 65 total points, not too far off his 100 Thieves there with 51 points, still being able to wrap up and get that second place. TSM, too, we're slowly clawing their way up, but I also want to highlight, it's not just TSM, Guild, VP, Shopify. When I went into this event, Genome, I knew that we have the heaviest hitters going into these lobbies, that it was so difficult to predict which of these squads were going to come out on top. Just look how close that overall leaderboard is within this first 2 groups alone.
Yeah, it is quite heavy up the top there, and some interesting situations towards the bottom and the middle there. I mean, you know, Complexity, only a few kill points, really having to rely on their placement points. So they're getting into good spots. Monsoon is navigating them well, but then they're failing on the execution. And it was the flip side with Oblivion, who really, you know, managed to get quite a few kills in the early games, but then seem to be stumbling when they have to get into Zone 3, Zone 4.
Yeah, we see that consistently, right? Because Complexity had approached that final zone over by Thermal, rotating away from launch site, managing to find some space on the other side of the lava, and utilizing that charge rifle that we see Monsoon really take advantage of. It's been a fantastic look at our first 2 groups. I want to hear more from the desk. Rainday, take it away.
Thank you so much, Vicky, Kitty, and Gino back on the mic. It's great to hear everyone in action in our Daiwa house here. The crowd is alive, electric, and so are the players. And I think the theme, as we welcome you back to the desk, Rainday, Clear Explosion, Snipe Down, and Jamerson, is that these teams are starting to create the narratives for us. We come in here with our questions, but they've certainly answered them. And on your screen right there, 100 Thieves, how many questions did these guys have, Lauren? Now, certainly silencing the doubters, certainly giving hope to the fandom, and I think Design at this point will get recognized by Nadeshot if he ever sees him in a lobby.
That's the ultimate goal, right? No, really though. Phenomenal way to close out that series, too. That was an opportunity for them to have a strong finish there based off of their drop, and they played it exactly how it needed to be played. And we saw the chaos at the end. They bided a time yet again behind all of those walls and just cleaned it up.
And really, you can't ignore the fact that, Jamerson, I'm going to go this to you, Fnatic showed up in a major way. This is kind of the ideal opening. You're in front of your home crowd, and you have a performance like this, double wins as well. They're certainly looking like a top contender to take this whole thing.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting how things, how history kind of echoed here, right? Yeah. Fnatic take game 1, 100 Thieves take game 2, Fnatic take game 5, and then 100 Thieves answer back. But the important part here for me, especially in that last game for 100 Thieves, was being able to see them play hard zone, right?
Yeah.
We know that they want to be able to get into fights. They want to get aggressive early on. But when you get a pull like that into Thermal Station, they had to play that exactly correctly. And I think they were able to kind of temper more of their aggressive style and play a style that really doesn't fit them quite often. And that comes from experience, right? Designful dropped down at Thermal Station for so long, and he knows the ins and outs of Thermal Station and Thermal Station zones. And I feel like that for them to be able to come together like this and utilize that experience really is what paid off here in game number 6.
That's a great point. Let's look at the final circles here to wrap up our final 3 games that just occurred in our first series of the day. Got 2 more coming up for you as well. Game 4, Snipe, this is where NRG got that win, got on the board.
Yeah, this is one of those games where it's kind of one of those things where it's like the first person to make the move, sometimes it's the right thing, but NRG just sat back. They had both Fnatic and TSM on them in their building. Fnatic went right, TSM went left, and NRG just said, all right, well, we'll just take all the space in front of us, let all those teams push up the hill to each other. They ended up all getting into fights. They played this rock, played back. You can see it happening right here. They're just literally letting all these teams kill each other. We saw how many people were on that wall. And then they're able to just pick them off. The Sheila gameplay has been so much fun to watch this tournament already. Just the way it makes the Gibraltar kind of like shuffle around, doing a little shimmy or something. But yeah, this is just great execution and great just patience out of NRG as a whole to come out with this win. And then they just played the bubbles, barely pushed up, let the other teams knock each other. And we just get to see the final little win there with the Sheila.
You think high ground is always the answer, but a lot of low ground wins. Guild earlier in our set, and then now obviously you see that with NRG. Lauren, game 5, it would turn back to familiar faces.
Yeah, and once again, we also saw Meteor up there in the discussion for a long time, sitting on that sniper tower for a decent chunk of it and able to clear these squads up below. Fnatic, though, swung into exactly where that final ring was going to be pulling, and they were able to hold that low ground when Meteor did drop down, started doing damage, and once again, it's the chaos of the Rampart walls. It's all of the Gibby bubbles, trying to find the right time in to push, get those shotgun shots in, but Fnatic has just been so successful with their aggression. They are always moving as a unit and once again find success.
And they were so sneaky to get that Sheila behind everyone. I don't think they saw it coming, Jamerson, but you do hear it, that's for sure, when it starts ringing. 100 Thieves, we just saw this game. of Jamerson, one away for them to close out their first set of the day and their only set of today.
Yeah, typically when you see this like thermal station pull down for the first ring, a lot of teams from thermal will default as like playing that center zone, playing the center tower, right?
Yes.
But instead they decided to play pipeline all the way on the western edge of the map. And in that way, they were able to conserve a lot of their economy, and they had a safer rotate in once the zone pulled away from them. Luckily for them, it didn't pull too far away. They were able to creep up. There was almost no resistance in it. And this really showed off how important it is to be able to really just sit on your hands,
yes.
right? When it comes to a game like Apex where you want to get involved in a lot of these fights and you want to be in a position where you can get a lot of KP, it can be a bit of a distraction. But for them, they realized, hey, this is an easy win for us. Let's play the safer position on the western houses and then rotate in once the zone pulls away from us. And luckily for them, the lobby really did cooperate in that regard. We had a lot of fights to the north of the northern choke points, and of course in the northeast side with the team scrambling in, and then they were able to ultimately close it out.
I love that phrase, sitting on your hands. You're noticing this Newcastle mind game of who's going to ult first. It's the same thing with Gibraltar, but it's just a queue. And also, you're looking at Rampart playing these open zones. You have 3 characters that have incredible shielding. We haven't really had metas where we've had this much shielding in these kind of LAN environments. So these areas are now more likely to be played. You're not necessarily going to have to sit under the cover that's already there, Snipe, because you can access these areas that, yeah, it wouldn't really make sense if you didn't have a Newcastle, Gibby, and a Rampart.
Yeah, I mean, the Rampart alone gives you can set up 3 walls by the time the bubble goes down. So it's just one of those metas right now where a lot of spots that you weren't able to play, you're able to take space, you're able to hold it, and with the way that all these other teams are working and moving around, the ability to hold these spots and other teams move in, people are going to get distracted. There's too much happening around you. They can't just focus on breaking all your walls, your Newcastle wall, your Rampart walls, all of that. Like burning the shield is one way to do it. But overall, it's a meta that patience is going to pay off, and it's one of those you can't just capitalize on every pick that you get. You have to wait. You have to make sure that it's your time to move in. And I think, this is going to stand out on who actually is the most disciplined of the teams.
It's a great way to kick this off. What a series start we've just had. And of course, Fnatic Hometown Heroes, well, they are the hometown favorites and now the winners of our first series. Let's go ahead with Ryan Hart, who is standing by with none other than Yuka.
I'm here, yes, Fnatic dominant in that first sequence of matches. Yuka standing next to me, and he is victorious with his teammates, of course, not only in Sapporo, Japan, but the first ever ALGS match with Japan coming out on the top. Yuka, 今までもいくつかの試合をもう勝ってはいるんですけれども、初めての日本で行った ALGS 試合で勝利し、自分にとってどんな意味をお持ちますか？
どんな意味を、とりあえず嬉しいものは嬉しいですね。ただグループステージなんでやっぱり慢心せず今のこの日本で開催された大会でグループステージですけど1を取った嬉しさをかみしめつつ慢心せずにこれからも頑張りたいと思います。
Right. So he says that, of course, he's happy about the win, but, it is just the group stages. There's not a time to get too confident or arrogant or anything like that. He's just going to play it cool and do his best with his teammates. Very smart decision indeed. で、次の試合に向けて、チームとしての調子はいかがでしょうか？
そうですね。その長期間のスクリーム期間を経て、ちょっとまだ未完成な部分があったんですけど、やっぱりその試合の中でいろいろ修正していって、そうですね、次もまだ修正ですかね。
これからですよね。
はい、ファイナルに向けてどんどん調整して仕上げていきたいと思います。
So they've reduced their scrim time and had a lot of things actually come out. They had a few issues that they were concerned with, but during the actual matches, things have been going well for them, as you saw. And yeah, they're very focused on the finals and getting as far as they can and doing as well as they possibly can. So I guess that's going to be it from me here on the ground. And I'm going to hand over to Lace, who is standing by with Guild.
And I am here with Phony from Guild. It's so great to be here. I mean, you guys were a little bit shaky in the start, but you managed to pull it together with absolute grace. How has your transition been joining Guild?
It's been very good, transitioning with the boys, Jessica, Legacy, and Winnie. Of course, it wasn't as smooth as I thought it would be, considering I had to go to Thailand. But once we, cleaned up the bad habits, our team chemistry was built up really well.
Well, welcome to the Aussies, that's what I have to say. How is your strategy going into today's matches?
It was mainly just to play and bounce off of each other's thoughts. The boys, when it comes to game sets like this, it's very hard to bring up the energy very early game. So my main premise was to just get the energy up there throughout the games, even if it took, a 1 deficit game of 0. I'd rather do that and get the game's energy up for the next set.
Well, that's exactly right. You're kind of the glue that holds this together. Everyone needs that sort of stuff, and that's you, Phony. If there's one thing that you could change about your performance today, what would it be?
I would say probably slow it down, give us time or give myself time to think about transitions. Either create an opening before I do a transition or wait for an opening to even happen before I just, early commit.
Yeah, it's a bit tough because you also have that knowledge as well as the skill set here. But guys, I am here with Phony from Guild, an absolutely amazing job. So thank you so much and best of luck for the rest of the tournament. Back to you guys at the desk.
Oh, Yuka, Laika, and Meltzera, and of course Phony, Jesco, and Legacy, 2 teams within our top 5 in terms of performances, and certainly top 5 in terms of our hearts. I'll have to get a little sweet one there. We do appreciate all of our players, but some sweet, sweet guys answering those questions. And I like the way that Yuka poised his response to Ryan's question. What are you making of this? Nothing really. It's group stages, and we do have another series coming up. So wrapping up our thoughts here for the first series, Laurel, I'll kind of start ending with you. What was your takeaway seeing Fnatic's jump out to a performance that certainly it's got to give them a lot of confidence?
I think Yuka is viewing it the same way that a lot of us do when we talk about groups. We know that it's important for the reasons of, one, getting those points on the board, because then you get a better chance of getting a good POI draft position, right, when it comes to the next stage of the competition. But you are always taking groups with a grain of salt. You can't get lazy. We are 1 series in. You still have to get through the whole group stage, then the whole bracket stage, and make it to match point finals. But starting off that hot is never a bad thing, and momentum is always useful.
Especially for disciplined teams like that. Snipe, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for these teams right here, it really just comes down to being as prepared as possible. Just putting every single thing that you put into the practice, into these games, and just really developing the plan and sticking to it. A lot of these teams, you can get out to a hot start, and then you decide like, oh, we made it, we're good. And you kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit, and that is just the beginning to your downfall, because the moment you do that, complacency sets in.
Right.
No one needs to do that like they did in past group stages. There's too much on the line with the POI draft system and all of that. So I want to see them carry the consistency. It would be great to see them top 5 the rest of the groups to carry that into the finals. You have one bad stage that could sit in the back of your head and be like, oh, hopefully this doesn't continue with one bad game, 2 bad game, 3 bad game type thing.
It's a great point. Jamerson, we've seen Virtus Pro, we've seen Shopify Rebellion, we've seen Guild, obviously Fnatic and TSM. So many teams had, I think, really strong starts today. But where is your attention as we head into our next series coming up?
Yeah, right now I am definitely looking towards Fnatic. I think having this hot start helps them out immensely because they were a little bit slower on the uptake from a lot of people, in scrim bucks and such. So I think being able to actually get this early lead, typically we see our group stage cut off around 90, 100 points to make it into the winner's bracket. And so now that gives them 12 more games here to really refine their style and really be able to get a good read on the lobby. I think that's the most important part, really being able to try and read what the other teams are going to do around you, especially with their specific style. So getting this early lead means that they can experiment a little bit more and then make a few mistakes and learn from that, and then be able to really hone down when it comes to the group, the winner's bracket.
One interesting thing about this as we start looking at the schedule coming up is that Fnatic get to play again. And teams like 100 Thieves, or teams in Group A basically, they're going to have to sit and wait and play all their games tomorrow. There's 2 kind of sides of that coin. I think one side is that you get this momentum, and if you're hitting like Fnatic, it's kind of hard to stop you because not a lot of time to adjust game plans, and you're playing a new scene, so you get basically your qualification points. They have another 50-pointer, 65-pointer, they're basically in. But a team like 100 Thieves, if they've done well, they sit down, people look at them, they know how we got to approach this, it can lead to people preparing for you. So all of those things are to be considered as we head into the second part of 3 of our first day here at Championships. So let's show you the schedule of what is to come. It is, of course, our next group showing up, C versus D. We'll see B versus D later on. That's that Fnatic going up yet again that I mentioned, but it's now C and D's turn to take center stage in Sapporo. In just a little bit, we will be sending a whole new crew of 20 teams into battle with 6 more matches across E-District and World's Edge and Storm Point. And of course, it's going to lead us into setting the stage for what is to come. If you want to make sure you are keeping up all to date with everything we've offered, make sure to check out twitch.tv/PlayApex and Play Apex Esports on YouTube and on X so that you know exactly when the games are happening, you catch highlights, and you stay tuned with everything we're doing here at Daiwa House. Hopefully you guys enjoy this time. We're going to send it to a quick break. When we come back, we've got C versus D, more ALGS championships coming right at you.
私は ALGS チャンピオンシップのホストライアン・ハーツと申します。A dream is going to become a reality. Every player here knows is ahead.
Full force, we leave it speechless. Our plan always coming together. My team is so cohesive. We winning all the time. Hit the fans in the bleachers. We winning all the time. Hit the fans in the bleachers.
Very little resistance in front of them as Fnatic set up the third party, watch it happen, and come in, taking the very first win in Japan!
Feel the force of my team, even if you ain't strong. Ain't strong, you feel the force of the mighty King Kong. I got that old style, you got that slow flow. The bank don't work well, your Wells Fargo. I got the heat to the brain, heat into your speaker. No end of regulation, we beat the buzzer beater. Sucking under no man, that style's back through. I throw that hit up in the corner.
Shopify Rebellion going down in the nick of time as 100 Thieves come up from below to sneak the win away from them.
Well, I think we need to be on roof now, no?
They fall so far into wall as Virtus Pro take the win.
Notorious referee. Notorious referee. You hear the fans in the bleachers. In the bleachers. In the bleachers. In the bleachers.
Time, and here comes Hackius. There's a dive bomb. The grenade goes down. Will it hit? Yes, it will. The bubble goes down. 5 smooths in.
最後にもう介入した時にドームが使える一番敵がいないところにドームを焚いてそうですよね。
さあ後から来る王者の社長出勤は T1。
Respawn beacons can be absolutely massive in the end game, and of course you drop with shields now, you can pick up your loot, and every team is going to be trying to drill you, but if he can get to his box, if he can armor swap, get those weapons, that could be absolutely massive, as now teams are starting to move towards the circle because this building is not going to be it.
Reps just waiting for the drop. How doing likewise. Shots coming down from above, but going to be exchanged. They're going to be caught in a caustic gas mess at the moment, but TSM kind of just watching everything go down. How managed to get a stick there onto Bronzy as well, as now Letter E are going to make their move. The bubble goes down, the ultimate goes down from the caustic. Keeping our eye on the feed as these teams fight, as Snipedown is brought back into the game. He's only got an heirloom to work with, but Snipedown's still trying to do what he can do.
He got 2 kills with the heirloom, but he's going to go down, and the rest of TSM is all down to Reps, and Reps goes off. And what have I just seen?
What did Reps just do?
Kung. They still have about 5 yards of breathing room before all hell is going to break loose. Really nice rotate from Killapos on the Gibraltar, and in comes the action. Reject getting caught out now. It looks like Pricing's the last to remain. He goes down. NLN in the middle of the circle is still doing massive damage and holding it true. Tom Young Kung may well let two teams fight as they rotate from the northern side. SQL goes down. Can NLN do this? Tom Young Kung, they drop directly on them. Where are the remaining members for NLN? It's not doable. Tom Young Kung play it perfectly.
Third impact would also win a fight for Jazaz. He's stuck in a thermite, and it's going to be Endeavor moving in now. Bryn with the Prowler. All of a sudden, this lobby is kicking off.
Gambit is the team that has the bubble last one remaining. They're the last one to use their bubble, so they're going to get pushed in this bubble by taking down Rogue here. And oh my goodness, Artico trying his best to survive. He survives. Alliance going down. Hawk is going down. Legit Lolly also going down. This is Gambit's game to win here. He's pushing with the evade. He's looking in the bubble. He takes down one. Can he take down the last one remaining? Yes, he can. Gambit Esports is the champion for our game number 3. That was insane.
Oh, but it's going to be ESA red right in front of them. Rockinishu, Project Aces, and Joy Blackout looking to end TSM's run here, but they have no idea it's TSM.
Oh man, and they shouldn't, because this Valkyrie team, I mean, who are you? We're trying to get TSM out of the lobby, and now the kill feed's starting to expose the truth. Oh no, that was them!
さあただ入り込んでいく。さあこれうまく囲んでフォーカス。あっという間に1人を残しました。こうなれば有利はクレイジーラクーン2人目、そして3人目。なんというキルタイム。
That's right, here comes the push, and another shot's gonna come through! Zach Major's on fire with the Kraber right now, connects for 2, and that opens the door. Result a knocked. I don't know if they're gonna get the revive off. C9 wants to push it. They've already gotten so many kills in this game, and they're not done yet. I've been so impressed by C9 so far.
Man, G2, they gotta be going down. 2 Kraber shots, that's it! It's C9 and Sentinels. Valkyrie. Sinox, what can he do? A missile strike right now would be beautiful. We're following along with Presto, and the damage is already ticking. Can the Kraber change it up? Oh, it certainly can! Crust, he gets hit. He's out of the fight as well. Will C9 be able to pull this one off? From down in the depths up to the top, it is Cloud9 in the clouds. What a win!
さあそしてフェンネルもそろそろチャンピオン取りたい、そんなポイントになっています。フェンネルは20ポイントでマッチポイント到達です。 さあドモヘッド中に入っていく。絶妙な2枚のドームの使い分け素晴らしい。やはりファイト強いフェンネル。これで残り5部隊12人。
Yeah, this great high ground position for ESA Black has proven to be so fruitful for them. Here comes the drop. ESA Black versus Space Station in the 3v3. Panthers connected for some good shots, but Space Station holds on for now. Metro with the Peacekeeper. That's what you want in a game fight. 1v1 for the bread. Can Metro do it in the 1v? PK and SSG will come out on top.
さあ S はそれを見守る格好ですが、そこに介入されてくる。シーフが落ちている。ここはうまく落としていきました。
ここでもうドームを使わざるを得ないので、最後にもう介入した時にドームが使える、一番敵がいないところにドームを焚いて、そうですよね。
さあ後から来る王者の社長出勤は T1。 キルリーダーしっかり最後に出したプロテクトドームで身を守りながら好きなタイミングで出て取っていくだけになりました。
One player left for EXO, one player left for a Thane, and it's inside the ring, and this is going to be with EXO left. You go for it.
Inside the ring versus Wolfpack Arctic, we are going to have a champion of APAC South right here. They go into the final bubble fight. Arctic lose Pooh inside the ring. It seems almost certain now Zaratas is by himself. He is going to let the circle close around him unless he can win the rape heal off here. And Emil is actually low. Wolfpack Arctic, Zaratas with his use of Into the Void there is actually going to win the APAC South Championships.
フェンネルを潰しに行く動き。さあリングギアとともに落としに行きます。フェンネル対決はピノで落ちる。さあフェンネルこれで落ちる。さあフェンネルコリアはこれで1対1まで来た。そしてこのドームファイトを決めきることができるか。マッチポイント先行しているフェンネルコリア。ただ LFT が先に取っている。残ったのはドグマですが2対1フェンネルコリアが返し切りました。
I don't even know if they know who is alive, but they're going to go for a kidnap here. They're going to find them. And use this the portal to try and at least get some visibility. Doing a good job playing their angles and playing this slow, recognizing they have the high ground, they have an advantage, and they can close this out here, girl.
Oh my goodness, and RPR comes in the back with the wingman. Perfect shots on Sunset. It's a 3 versus 1. They cannot lose
Brilliant
this,
plays.
and they are going in.
Scars are your champions.
Chance to do something special. 2 of them to win it all down, and 1 of them to play spoiler.
Oh, nice cracks there coming from the grenades. Big grenades from bottom 20. This is where you need to clutch up as an individual. This is where you need to hit your shots if you want to call yourself a champion, if you want to lift a trophy above your head. Renegades being slightly focused here, but they've done so much damage. Can they spoil the party?
Oh, and it looks like they might. I tell you, SSG, they lose 1, but here comes bottom 20. They're coming in on the 3rd party right now. Sorcerer has to bring out the Eva 8. Space Station were not taken down, and at the moment, it's a game of peekaboo, and it looks like the move has been made now for Renegades to move in. They will be able to reset here, but no! Here comes bottom 20! What a story it would be! It's all down to Pow Pow! Can he get it done for Renegades? Bottom 20 will be the champions!
Team Liquid finds themselves in a fight. Gilderson's with the car. He's gonna get a triple kill.
Oh, he said, knock, knock, follow. Don't worry, I got the car ready for you here. Gilderson's creating some of that space. Utilizing EMP early like we've seen before. TSM will knocking them left to right. Dogma getting taken down.
Oh, Hal enters the fight and takes out 2, and he's the kill leader with 3 now. 9 squads remain. Reps and Hal.
Certainly involved in that kind of area and what will be snuffling down in just a few moments' time. And here comes Hackett. There's a dive bomb. The grenade goes down. Will it hit? Yes, it will. The bubble goes down. Vipes moves in. And the air bomber called Vipes. Then Hackett's an alliance strike first.
From the skies, striking fear into the eyes of everyone around them. I can drop you anything. Just don't get walked up on. Look under now, look under. Gimme. Shoot the same guys, No, stop one. Gimme, crack. Nice. Focus in. Shoot the gimme now, he's cracked again. In the knock, now. They're fighting on the team, down the building. Get killed and knocked down low. Get these kills. Nice.
Dreamfire wanted some of the action, and that's a shred! And Dreamfire get the entry. Duplex will fall. Optic down to 2, but 2 still alive. Tail now just shredding through the skies. And shredding on the ground as well. The car is singing.
Dreamfire and Dreamland, they're on top of the world right now. Optic down to 2. What can they do in this fight?
Optic, this is looking like a tough game to win for Dreamfire. It's looking like, how many KP can we rack up? There's your answer, Dreamfire!
It's right side, right this way, right side.
Yeah, beam me. Oh, please.
Oh my god, bullets across that open little bit of water, and now it's going to be a bubble fight in time to get a little bit more to the bubble, and now Morelli hits a 99. Oh my goodness!
They're jumping on each other. Come on, back to me here. Down, 100. Caustic, got low crack! Stop! 100, let's go!
But now Zeta, they don't know they're there, and they're just gonna absolutely shred. They come out of nowhere like ghosts from the woodwork.
Taskmaster, this is what he loves. People in front of him! But none of the turn!
100 Thieves trying to capitalize on a little bit of high ground, and they're looking to get aggressive. You've got to be careful though, it doesn't come down, and now you need to see teammates make damage.
Vaxelon trying to do what he can. He has to escape. Omnu has the shields. Maybe he can be the one to clean things up. Mozambique here. Mozambique might be able to pick up a few kills. He has to scarf around the corner. A spray and a pray, but no prayers answered. As Vaxelon has to be the savior now for 100 Thieves. It's chip damage, but it might not be enough. The knockdown shield is a problem, but so is Vaxelon.
Team is running out. Get the block in the air. Nice shot. Get the rest of the kills. Get it. One. Set. Down. Hi. Last kill. I'm reloading. I can't see either. Crack him. One. Good job.
But there was enough time for Optic to fully get themselves reset, but the shield crack comes out with the frag. This is a perfect opportunity for E-Tank to push. Both bubbles are down, and Optic is trying to get a little bit of height here to see if they can clean this up.
40
on the Mandy.
Get him, Mandy, get him, Mandy.
And they get knocked. They got Oh, stars. Mandy. What's the ambulance, but not for stars. All the ambulance for Seperated. Mandy with some great shots. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Oh, I love the play from Hal. He gets high ground. Hal finds a way to play. Uses the knockdown shield to survive. 4 spots remain. Hal gets one. Hal turns. Looks for a second. He gets 2. Hal in a 1v1 for the bread.
Overholds is right there now. Oh, here though. He got to get the mid fire on the fly. TSM win game number 1 to continue on their domination from day 1.
Maybe he's going to be in the vicinity, but maybe there is. Here comes Dark Zero, and here comes Jen Burton. Dark Zero trying to do what they can, trying to see if they can pick up any pieces. Just Jen Burton on his own. Dark Zero down to but Fnatic get ripped through.
Is that a lifeline that we are seeing right now?
We have a lifeline on display for the first time I've ever seen in the ALGS. Meltera on lifeline and not missing. He's melting.
That's not lifeline, that's lifeline out here. We got the kill leader. Having to split some of that attention, you gotta give some backup to stay naughty here. The zone's coming out. On your back, you gotta keep your some of that back here. That laser with the flat line, cleaning things up.
I'm holding on.
Hold it.
Holding it.
Behind, sweet.
Holding it.
Just hold your knock.
They're fighting. Holding it.
I got one. 2v1. Nice, sweet. I got one. Let's go. And look at that. Mercy's actually getting some good shots going. Mercy goes down here. And oh my god, they're actually winning the fight. They're turning this around somehow. How are they doing it? It's going to be one alive. It's going to be golden in 1v2. Can he survive this? Oh my god. Good knock. Oh my god, another lead that shot. Can he do it? Oh my god! Golden with the 1v. How you do?
NRG, Cloud9, you see Sweet right now with the Volt in his hand. He connects for 80, but he's down to 1 HP. He gets knocked. Cloud9 performing, but Rambo is alive. Rambo is going to queue his way up and find a way to survive. And Rambo wins. Rambo is a monster.
Now we've got all teams on a similar level, but Volin is going to be able to use those Valkyrie jets, but he's going to be able to rejoin the fight in time. Yes, he is! Oh my god, he's shredding them!
But I go really wide. Play the dome. I'm baiting them. Slow down, guys. We need to watch our back. Cracked one. Watch the deal. I'm marking up a little bit here. Pass, take the heady, and we win. It's on us. Let's go, fight. Go right there. Slow down, Mac. I'm good. Let's take light for it. No, not one. I queued it. Bow crack. Slow down, guys. Don't die here. Give me one. One shot, give me. Last guy. Oh, we go here. Let's go, boys. Let's go. One game.
We're alive. Sparzo in some trouble. Taichi gets taken down. Money trying to take control of the little crevice right here. There's so much to do. The stick with the arc star. Make it 2. Y'all see me right now. Now the Valkyrie tries to fly up. He gets 2 cracks at the same time. Can he get a quick shield swap really quick right now as he becomes the kill leader?
Avoid any of the projectiles that are coming through. It's going to be Hockey taken to the air. He's flying in like Michael Jordan out here. He's getting a double knock. He's looking for the win. He's taken down, and that's 100 Thieves going out. Frank is coming through for the second place, and Alliance taking game number 4.
Early split 2. He wanted to pick him up. What a pickup it was. And NRG takes out C9.
Robin Hood. Shot after shot. You have to worry about those Watson also.
Love that Watson fence on the box, though. Yugi swings wide left. Alliance is going to do it. 2 members of 100 Thieves down and out as Alliance and Hockeys are going to win it. Are you kidding me? There's one left. There's a rat somewhere. IG's out, but 100 Thieves is running right now with their tail between their legs as Alliance hunts them down and wins this one.
With you. Get them over. You can play against the wall on me. You can play against the wall on me. I got They're coming behind us. Yeah, wait, they're coming behind us, though. Too bad. Behind.
Shift cover. Currently see them. You see Zero Tricky picking off the black hole. He's about to get it. Everybody's in it. Get ready.
Panthers on controller. He's connecting with the PK. Pop.
Scarfo need one more point. RPR has to stay alive. Has to try and get it. Doesn't get it.
Scars 1 point away. Alliance, they need this win.
Scars eliminated. Alliance leave it late, but Alliance march towards match point. Alliance win it.
There. I keep them. They're gonna get. Where's the back right? He's alone. Let's them fight each other. Okay, no, Giri. I'm full. But they're fighting. No, chill. I'm chilling. Cut the cut down, fighting. Falcon. One more. Wait. Bubble.
And now, Zero is going to be your champion of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Regroup and find a way to dissect this engagement.
They are just sitting back, looking to find any amount of KB. Insane from a mile away with the R9 Black Hole going out, trying to capitalize on this. LCDF has fallen. Gonfare might be next. They are. Now we turn our attention to the final squad, Area 310, but this is all Zane, baby.
Let's go, Zane! Here, plenty of ammunition left, plenty of high ground. Won't have as much of his cover during the next ring. Dojo go down, LG go down. Dreamfire are pushing for the win, but they haven't done enough. Even a crack. Can they play this perfectly?
TSM intense. They have put themselves into contention for advanced starting points. And Dreamfire full sending down. Roy falls, 3 MC falls, and TSM, they are going to find themselves in the winner's bracket.
The zone is a problem. The longer this fight gets delayed, the more difficult this is going to be. But popping a medkit at just the right time might be able to get Timmy into the fight feeling full HP. TSM having to retreat, and a Digi-Trek's going to pick up Al. First stop goes to the dojo.
But this could open things up for the likes of Alliance and Black. And they're taking a look for an enemy through the catwall. Now with 30-30 in their back pocket, rips that out as well. As Timmy and enemy are working hand in hand, and TSM go down. Dojo survives.
Alliance now finding a Bocheck to work with as well, and Alliance and Hackis, well, they're having a little bit of fun right here. Lots of damage coming in from the care package weapon. Dreamfire gone, Moist gone, and I tell you what, they might all be going down to Hackis in a few seconds.
Sentinels as well, Ironblood and Realize all 4, which leaves us with 4. TSM, LG Chivas, Alliance now our last 3 teams, and TSM starting to push on in towards LG Chivas.
Oh, but look at Hackis! Hackis takes down Hal! And those arrows are piercing skin, piercing armor, piercing shields at the moment.
They're not going to be able to do it. TSM just wins one out there.
Yeah, but they threw up the wall to hide themselves and let those two fight. Now coming over on the grab slip, Hal is going crazy. Hal is showing why he has shown up to that with back-to-back wins.
They get damage, and this is going to cook.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, icy bomb. Where's the second one though? Doesn't get the damage. It's of the Hackis, but look at the movement from Hackis. Forget about your Hackis, but now he's getting challenged on the high ground. Nathan goes down. Hackis.
Bringing that doorbell. Northampton are trying to push with the North Singularity, also taking a lot of damage, but Elysium doing well to go on his own.
Oh, he's back.
But unfortunately, another team arrives.
We got a an oob starting to fight. Esports dropping immediately down onto LCDF, trying to notch through the piercing spikes. It doesn't matter. They were prepping for maybe a Horizon grab lift approach, but not necessarily an oob. Aimbot going down, and Lusky taking heavy damage, but Jinx is falling. Sleep is likely going to have to clutch.
That was a rough call for Starter Fight to make it. They had to go in at some point.
try and get this final wipe onto Xen here.
Oh, they're isolating Dojo. They're isolating Dojo. They know that Ascent's on the high ground here. Design takes an evac tower right in front of them. Where are they going to land? They're going to be played by the tree. They lose out an enemy. They got pinched. They got moved by both teams here. Here comes the EMP ringing through. The Motherload controlling some space. Ascent get eliminated in third. Dojo in this 2v1. You play to a knockdown, and they come through. Dojo takes a dunk. Alliance. They gave up that POI, and now we're getting to see KCP, the other 50-50 that we saw happen between KCP and Guido was realized that KCP did come out on top of this one, but now it's Zayn the last one alive. Let's see if that's going to be the same case.
Harvester, it's been such a point of contention for many teams here. And once again, we're seeing players fight over this key, central, rotational POI. Realize, once again, will fall.
Right, we got the same results after what we had seen from game number 1. Sure, you could try this out now when it's early in the lobby. This is match point format. All right, Nasky. All right, Nasky. I got to talk to him a little bit yesterday. He said, it's all about the mind game. Sometimes I'm going to tell all the IGLs something different.
Optic Gaming might be about to break records. 2 squads remaining. It's NRG versus Optic.
Everyone in the arena has just become an NRG fan as they want this tournament to continue.
Prowler for Nathan. Could that be the difference maker? Sweet has to retreat. Does he have a shield swap? No, he doesn't. Sweet goes down. Knock gets the first kill for Optic. Dropped. Tries to move in to clean up the pieces. Optic will fall. NRG clutch.
You've got almost no idea who you're shooting at. It doesn't matter which team they're from. You've just got to find a target and click.
It's a chance from the crowd giving TSM the energy they need. From the chat as well, the supporters, to give TSM the dub as FaZe find themselves in another top 5.
TSM though, they're all by themselves at the moment. There's a fracas behind the wall, but they will strike at the last moment.
FaZe against TSM. There's only one alive. The name from Burrows. FaZe get eliminated, and TSM are your Game 6 champions. This may be it for Black Cat, and it is. Optic Gaming are still alive for how long? It's dropped. It's TSM from the high ground. 30 teams left, and the circle is looking like a skittle.
No one knows who anyone is in Optic. Once again, they can't manage it. It's going to be Dojo versus TSM as the circle closes at TSM.
The zone cut in half. Pressure on Verhulst, that's the catalyst to make a play. Starfight could play Pie Poopers here, and TSM are going to have to wait.
These Watson vectors could be massive.
Apex Folklore once again repeating itself as how, once again from the heavens, gets the opening knock. The CEO with a hostile takeover. TSM are your champions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Apex Legends Global Series Championship, where we are in day one of our competition, the groups stage of our competition, one series down, and now we head into the second of the day with two new groups who have yet to sit on our stage. Things already heated up in that first series. Fnatic coming out on top with a stellar performance, 2 wins in the series, and now it's time to see what the rest of our teams can bring to the table. My name is Glitter Explosion. I'll be your host here for this series, and we've got an amazing desk joining us here to talk about all things Apex Legends, and we've got Zephyr back with us, and of course, Snipedown and Jamerson as well. But Zephyr, you're joining us here. First time of the day, first time for the week. How are you feeling? What's it like being in Japan?
It may be the first time for me at the desk, but I've been watching all day long when it comes to the caliber of play that we're finally getting the opportunity to see after such a long time here in what is competitive Apex. And for so many of these teams, they're showing us a caliber that we haven't gotten to see in a way that is completely different.
I think everybody knew they had to bring something a little special to the table. We talked about it a lot. Fnatic was your team to watch in that first series, Eric. So now that we've got that series down, what have your impressions been so far?
Yeah, I don't know what to think anymore. I had Fnatic. I thought they were going to take the group, switch it to TSM last minute, and I should have just stuck with my gut. It's like picking the first answer, you switch it, all that. So, I mean, honestly, I think this whole weekend is just going to be the build-up each day. Every day is going to get more and more important, and I think it's just all about finding the right teams that are going to build the momentum, and I don't think it's going to be as much of a surprise as last event was with the champion. I think we're going to really see who's going to take it, and if let's say, you know, Alliance had such a good group stage last time, I think if we see a team consistently perform that well in groups, they will continue to bring it to the finals.
And Jamerson, we got to get through our first 2 groups. Now we're heading into groups C and D as well, and some heavy hitters in those groups as well. Talk to me a little bit about what you're hoping we can see in the second series.
Yeah, like we saw in Group A and B, we got to see a lot of teams really be able to flex their identity and really hone that one down. So here in CD, that's a very similar story that I want to see. Fnatic did a great job doing their negative rotates all throughout the entire series and succeeded extremely well with it. And so they're playing to their comfort zone and they're doing extremely well so far in the group stage. Now here in CD, I want to see the same things coming out from all of our squads. Alliance, you know they can play flexible, they can play whatever, but now it's the big question for Alliance. Hey, what is Hawkins' read on the lobby? How well is he going to be able to predict everything? We don't have to question their playstyle. We just have to question their reads. And so I want to see him be able to hone that in this first match.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're talking about when we say there are so many different storylines we're going to be following all week long, because so many teams have gotten just below the great success of being crowned champion, and we have repeat champions here in the lobby, people that were able to claim that title just this past year, and it's only going to get even more difficult as we get further through the competition. But if you guys at home are just joining us here for the first time and you're wondering where we're at in the stage of competition, don't worry, it's still day one. You only missed the first 6 matches. Groups A and B went head to head. That is now done, and like we've said, we're moving towards groups C and D for a second series here on the day. And then to close it out, we still have one more at the end of the day between groups B and D. And like we mentioned, Fnatic is one of those squads who will be coming back for a second series here after their very strong performance at the beginning of the day. So lots of stuff in store, and it's only Wednesday, so hopefully you guys are ready to get through and see who's going to be our globally crowned champion at the end of it all. But we keep talking about it. Let's show everybody at home what happened, okay? We keep mentioning these series. Let's give them a visual option. Talk to me about these matches. Zephyr, you got to sit through everything in the back and watch how it went down. Fnatic out the gate real hot.
Absolutely. It's a great chance to be here in Japan, but it's even better when the hometown heroes get to represent and display a fantastic win right off the bat. But as we've talked about, it isn't just that first match, and of course the end goal that we got to see. Inevitably, so many of these other teams began to show up, and this final climb out from 100 Thieves was a great representation of how anybody is always lurking and waiting.
Absolutely, and both of those teams were ones that ended up with double wins, but then we head into match number 3, switch it over to Stormpoint Snipedown, and once again, another strong performance, this time out of VP.
Yeah, Virtus Pro is actually one of the most interesting teams, I think, to watch this weekend because they switch it up. They played Catalyst and they played Caustic. These are 2 characters that we really haven't seen in the meta so far when it comes to what everyone's running. It's usually 3 defense legends. I hope we see a Mirage. I've been waiting this whole time. I have been talking about it nonstop. I want to see some Select Fire Prowlers and some Mirage gameplay.
If it was ever going to be a meta, right?
Yeah.
we got so many little teasers of it throughout scrims, and then now no one's picked it so far. But hey, we still have 4 more days, and we still have 2/3 of today.
We do. We got that energy win there in the middle, and then of course the bookends at the end, the second wins for both Fnatic there in match number 5, and then 100 Thieves here in their thermal zone there at the end. And you did a really good job of breaking that down for everybody, Jamerson, at the end as to how they were able to kind of change their play style to make it work for that specific hard zone play.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we're looking at champions, we have to be able to see teams that are flexible in their play style, right? You can't just be one identity for the best teams overall. When we look at teams like Game & Gladiators, who have had a huge upward trajectory, are playing in this series, they have been able to be able to play flexible. If they have to play edge, they can play edge. If they have to play center zone, they can play center zone. And it's going to be the teams, I think, here for this specific champs that can really be able to flex and on that experience that will succeed at the end of the week.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that breakdown, guys. It was fantastic, but we keep saying we've got 2 more groups of teams, 20 teams that are trying to mark their name in the history books of ALGS. So first, let's take a look at Group C.
To come in, Sharky's return to the finals starts with a win.
Eternal, who death balls super effectively. Falcons swoop in. Falcons should be taking game 3. Massive recovery.
They're dead. 1-1-1. They're down.
Right, Newcastle res though, and now you just gotta back up.
GG will go back to back.
Shots get one.
Oh my God!
Brown punching him.
And they have done it.
One who has just been playing out of his mind.
Like we mentioned, an incredibly stacked group here in Group C with all of these teams across the board, and lots of squads I know everyone at home is going to be excited to see getting into the action here, specifically Team Falcons, a team that I think is always on everybody's minds when you are talking about Apex Legends and the competitive scene. And we talk about their players a lot as well, specifically z-o-o, and I think all year long we were looking for big things out of Team Falcons, and it's been a little bit of a quieter year for them here so far. But now, on the largest stage all year long, the biggest global competition that we will see for this year, is it the moment for the King to pick up his crown and dust it off?
Pressure? I mean, of course there's pressure, but he's going to show up. All he cares about is winning. It doesn't matter how bad it sounds or how brutal it is, that's what it takes. When you've accomplished what he's accomplished, anything less than first place is not good enough.
All the outside noise, the opinions, it doesn't faze him.
2022 saw a return to the international stage. And with it, the NA Giants were expected to reclaim the title of the best team in the world.
I didn't think any of the regions honestly knew what was going to happen until we got to Sweden.
When we were coming up, no one really believed in us. Nobody saw it coming.
Wide left flank, and then just like that, Reignite is gonna do it. They are your champions. Australia comes all the way to Europe and wins. Dome Shield is placed, and now Dark Zero is going to be your champions of the Apex Legends Global Series. Back to back.
They're taking damage, but no! Here comes z-o-o!
z-o-o, the captain, the IGL to send it back down under! Match point specialists!
2024, the dynasties have finally fallen.
And DC have this entire side to the circle to themselves.
They've actually got that. z-o-o goes down to Koiful.
It's up to them, but they take out Dark Zero. We are going on.
It's a massive moment for Apex. It's a huge moment for Apex North.
In response, z-o-o and Imperial Hal teamed up to form what many called the Super Team. But their attempt at stopping the bleeding fell short. The world had caught up.
But Team Falcons, a team that's slightly been struggling now.
It looks like Falcons will be eliminated, and indeed they are. Another dud game for them.
I mean, if you want to talk about momentum, there is a complete lack of inertia for the super team.
Zero's just gone down.
Zero's gone down. Trying to do what he can, but Falcons' bad day continues. But SSG will become your champions here in Germany. The team that was dubbed the second super team when it came together.
Split 1, they narrowly lost. Split 2 was a complete collapse.
Another failure at Champs, and Year 4 may be the first in which Z-o-o-m does not lift a trophy. The pressure is mounting.
I think he does feel pressure. I think he puts most of it on himself, though.
He feels pressure, but it doesn't really affect his performance. So.
I think the reason that he kind of seems like he doesn't feel it is because of how hard he works. Yeah, he's ruthless.
Everyone can say what they want, you know, everyone can think what they want, but at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be the one lifting that trophy. You'll see.
Absolute chills listening to that entire story. Talk to me a little bit about Team Falcons here, Zephyr. I mean, there is a lot of pressure on that team.
There's a lot of pressure, but as you heard, it's about how hard they work. We talk about overall scrim statistics for a team like Falcons. They are the top brass when it comes to the overall international competition. First in kills, first in damage, first in overall statistical placement. When we talk about how far ahead they are compared to any other roster in this lobby, they are a statistical anomaly here. They are in a standard deviation of 3 compared to the next closest of 1.8 here for them. That is over 1.6 times better than teams like T-Law or potentially anyone else who are in the same category.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. The results outside of this last year don't lie. They are a team that is more than capable of, at the end of this, hoisting that trophy above their heads. But in order for them to do that, they're going to have to go through those last 10 teams that I mentioned that are currently chomping at the bit. So let's check out Group D.